Hello fellow academics, welcome back to Beavtorio. We're yet again at the beginning of an episode and in another drought, but we're doing much better. You remember how red this lake was the last time we played? Looking so much better right now. So I'm actually quite excited about this. Right, what else do we need to do? We're still in the process of wrapping this part over here up. At the end of the last episode, I had high prioritized a few more of these building blocks just to make sure that additional water source down here is fully connected, which will make it 4 out of 5 that are in, which, you know, quite nice. All right. So with that in place, there are a couple of additional thoughts that we had and a couple of additional projects that we started. First though, we're out of power because we are in a drought and most of our power currently relies on water wheels. So it is high time that we actually go into power and start building some large windmills. We do not have the science yet, but we have enough beavers to unpause 2 more of our inventor huts, which will help us. Which also makes me think it would be nice to finally get the Observatory 1000 science, but then we produce 10 science in less than an hour, 3/4 of an hour, compared to 1 science per hour. All right, so we could prioritize this. A good way of expanding our power supply would probably be over on this corner. All we need to do in order to get to this would be to destroy that levee, put a connection in down here, and then just a couple of platforms in the front so we can actually easily cross that span. And that is what we will be doing right now. So for now, highest priority, because everything needs to be high prioritized in this game. It's just how the game works. With that, we will then have the connection over here. And one additional piece. Build 2 levees up here. And then we build a regular platform. Well, a double platform over this way. Once all of this is in, we can then go ahead, destroy this, build the connection up here, and then move our way over in this direction. Actually, now that I think about it, we're gonna do it slightly differently. Because I would love for our path to be along the edge here, so we can actually easier build wind farms over in this direction. So what we're going to do instead is have you go here like that. I'm gonna connect you through there. What are you doing? That just did make no sense. Right, we have one connection down here, put another one. This needs to be a double platform over here. And then we can build a single platform over this way. Don't need that. So we still have the pathway system that connects overall like that. And then we still need to connect this up, but the easiest way of doing that, double levee here. And then we can destroy these 2. And put in the gears, the power shafts, basically, to connect this up underneath here, then up there. And with this, we're in a much better situation. All right. So that little area down here is getting built. We do have 105 planks, which is pretty awesome. They've also done a really good job at wrapping this part up. Very nice. Oh, I forgot we did have a second power wheel. Right. Let's have you spraying to life as well. Not that it will help a ton right now, but it'll do, well, something. Okay, like I said, for the power supply, we actually need 1,400, which I think is a sign that we should build the observatory first, and the power supply comes after. We're gonna build the observatory, I think, like I mentioned, up here. I thought leaving an area down here open, but I think up there will be look just nicer, and we will have a connection up probably to this corner right there for our beavers to have an easier way of traveling. So let's, in the meantime, just go ahead and place a staircase up here so they can easily get there once we build it. And let's make sure we have everything in terms of material that we need. We need 10 pine resin. And we have 50, so that's good. We need 30 gears, we have 48, and we need 80 planks, which we don't have right now. But that is because we are building the stuff over in this corner. However, our busy beavers, they will actually wrap all of this up very quickly. I'm sure of it. I'm actually destroy you. We don't need that staircase anymore. So once they have wrapped this up, it frees up all of our planks to be put into our observatory, which we will be able to unlock, I think, probably in a day or so, and then finally place it up there. Right, we have also put in this water wheel right here. Now, in the long run, I want it to be just fully connected. Like have the power supply go over in this corner. And then again, this can become a little bit of our productivity hub, like industrial zone, so to speak. Maybe we'll remove this top part here at some point. Oh, we'll see. But that is one thing that we want to do, because ultimately what we really need soon is an explosive factory. That's 400 science, and then the dynamite would be another 600. And once we have both of that, we'll be able to actually just create that tunnel over here. Actually, I don't think I need you. Yeah, I don't. We do 2 one-level things down here and then place the levees on top. This will be a perfect connection over here without having to go up. Alright, I think that looks good. Now 10 more science. We're just at the beginning of the day, so that will definitely happen today. Come on, here we go. Yes, definitely unlock it. And I need you to be on the highest priority. Which I know you guys try to focus on these first. But I want the observatory to be done first, because we just need all that science to, well, do what we need to do. Alright, in the long run, I probably also want to get rid of this. Long run or short run? Do we have 34 metal blocks. You don't need any. You know what? You go by. Does free up some planks as well, which I'm not upset about. If you go this direction... Actually, don't even need this. We're just gonna build as a double dam. And yes, that sounds weird, but it makes sense to me. Because this way, There will be a little bit of water stored before it hits the first dam, and if that first dam is not enough opening, there's a second dam on top that will allow the stuff to kind of just flow out. Alternatively, you know what? We don't need that. What we can just do is put the double platform in here. Connect this up. And if we ever need to have an indicator down here, which I might appreciate at some point, all we need to do is place another levee just in front of it. This will shorten that path a little bit. Not that it's drastic or anything, but, you know, I think it kind of makes sense. All right. With the added water level in here, all of the stuff back here actually was green. So that's pretty awesome. We're doing okay in terms of food. We're doing really okay in terms of water. Although we do need to think about water storage at some point soon. But, you know, one thing at a time. Plus the observatory coming. Need 45 more planks. It's a lot of planks. What we can do in order to improve this is actually pause the smelter. We also don't need gears anymore. We have plenty of those for now, which means, and then what we can also do is just pause one lumber mill. So now we should have just enough power to supply both of our lumber mills, which should increase their productivity by a good amount. All right. So that happened, which, you know, nice. Don't need to actually build the front part here. Now that we've changed the system a little bit, we probably also don't need you. And you don't need to be levees all the way. Yes, let's have those two still be built as levees. Need to kind of high prioritize this a little bit, but we're short on planks anyways, so that's just what it is. And you guys can just be platforms, because the water can actually fall down there. Should give us enough power with this added water wheel. All right. There we go. Like I said, I think it is coming together. We have 2 unemployed beavers. What am I gonna do with you guys? Technically don't have any extra jobs that we need right now. Guess we could quickly build these up. But potato storage is looking good. Maybe another builder's hut. Just over here. Seems to be a good spot for it. Builder's hut. There we go. And I will appreciate having a few more builders. Oh, look at that. It's almost at 99%. Seriously, like 1 additional hammer. There we go. And what I completely forgot is you actually need power to function. All right. Small windmill it is. Can you guys actually reach that? You can, but you will not be able to reach this one. All right, high priority on here. Let's make sure we have a connection over this way, and then the power shaft to connect these up. Let's see if we can't. Nope. And put another one in here. But what we can do, actually, we do have many more logs compared to planks. So let's go ahead, high prioritize you. I guess all of this needs to be high prioritized. Then we can put another power shaft in there, and then another power connection to a secondary windmill. You are paused. I guess I'm doing a pretty good job at getting this ready. Oh, can't forget to high prioritize those two. How's this looking? This looking actually pretty good. And let's have a look underneath where the other sluice is. All the way back here. Why did I build this all the way back here? Okay, you should be able to be open now. That looks good. It doesn't look like anything is flowing in. So when the drought ends in 2.5 days, we have 4 water sources supplying this area. Whew. So yeah, I think we're making good progress overall. With a couple of, stupid mistakes. Alright, Observatory is in, which means you can go, you can go, you can go, and you can go. Bringing up a little bit more space over here, which I think will be very much appreciated. Same amount of beavers. And they're not doing anything because there is no power. Cool. One actually quite useful thing here would have been, emphasis on would have been, being able to build batteries that hang down over here. What would be the best way for us to place them, make good use of these areas? Yeah, let's figure that out later. For now, we do have our observatory in. Doesn't quite have enough power with the second windmill. Once somebody hammers it into existence, we'll be on much better shape. All right. What else needs to be done? So with that already in, what we want to look at is building our explosive factory. Unlock and build our explosive factory. I mean, at some point we will have enough science to build our large windmills. But for now, I think the explosive factory makes a bit more sense. So the explosive factory does need power. And we should build it kind of close to our bad water pump, which over here actually seems to be a pretty sweet spot. We can also connect this up over to our small wind farms, or wind farm, singular, not plural, which I think will also be quite nice. Now, however, how do we get the power from over here to connect up this way? And I think one thing we could do, instead of trying to build the power supply over in this direction, we build it actually along this side. Now that should be easy to do and actually relatively straightforward. I'm hoping. All right, so we would place all of this on here and like this up just like that. And the nice thing is we can scatter our windmills basically along the power supply here. Now, in order to get over there, if we need to, we should actually move this one further back. There we go. Power supply all the way to the corner. All right. So once this part here is in, we should be able to easily get over this direction. So let's high prioritize those two. But they're almost done over here. Also pretty cool. Which means now we can unlock our explosive factory. Don't quite know why you can build an explosive factory, but then need to unlock your single explosives. I feel like the single explosives, they should just come as a boon. But yeah, they just don't. Anyways, so let's make that connection here. And here we can already place it. As priority is given on this one. And then a single platform over here, which will then allow us to have a vertical shaft and those two over there. Where we can also now connect through here. Just like that. All right. Doing okay. Doing okay. Which makes me also think, instead of having this connection here, also not that we really need that path right there, but what we can do is cross it over here, remove the paths, and then have actually some batteries hanging over this way. And I think that will be very beneficial for our explosive factory once they have actually placed all of that in there. Let me go ahead and high prioritize this so we can get the explosives done as well. That fresh water is coming in. Could actually do... Oh, I forgot. There's a dam on the other side. But look at that, it's almost blue again. Ah, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Right, where were we? Okay, they are building the explosive factory. Do we have enough gears? We do not. So power wheel can be paused. Lumber mills can be turned back on. Because we are getting power from down here. More than plenty to wrap this all up. Let's also unpause the metal smelter, because we're also out of metal blocks. Because they have happily built these platforms over here. Again, very, very nice. All right. We're making slow but steady progress. So, very excited about that. Alright, can't get all the materials. I guess that's fair for the platforms. And you're still... Oh, you're waiting for metal blocks and gears. So good thing I unpaused both. We're a little bit short on beavers, so I'm gonna pause the builder's hut, just so we have a good amount of haulers, which should overall improve the productivity of our settlement. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, how are things looking up here? This is in. You need a gear as well. You just need logs. One more gear here, one more gear there. And then just 2 more logs, and then this is connected. Which will give us finally the ability to create some explosives. And we only need to... I guess we said we're doing 2 layers, basically. Down here. Not upset about the next drought being a drought. That didn't make sense, but I hope you guys understand what I meant. Well, it would have been nice to actually have some batteries. 400 science, we could actually unlock this. There's not a good spot right here at the moment for us to place the batteries. In the long term, I think we might just expand this out and bridge more into the center, which should then allow us to place a battery area over here. And that should completely get us covered. Why are you starving? You have so much food. You're only working 16 hours a day. Beavers, you know, give them a hand and then... No, it's like give them a finger and they want the hand. I forgot what how the saying goes. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. Alright, we need a bit of storage for our explosives, which we could just do small warehouses. Actually, why not? Because that gives us plenty of storage for highest priority first. For the explosives. Here, here. One more, and another one. You're on highest priority. Also want you to be on highest priority now. Should be able to build this relatively quickly. Well, at least they put this stuff over there. Actually don't think I need this then. This one here, or this one. This can then be a staircase down, because we're throwing explosives 2 levels down over here. Which, let me actually see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I just skip one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 20 explosives. That should be doable. We already have 5. We have the science to actually unlock it also. So once the drought hit, that's actually good timing for the drought. We'll be able to create that connection, basically. Well, this is not overflowing. Let me actually have another look at this guy. Yeah, still enough scrap metal. Cool. So we can create that pipe outlet basically over here. And then build sort of the top over it after. There we go. Drought has hit. This has already stopped, which means we can now go ahead and unlock this. We have 17 days of a drought. 600 science. Yep, happy to do that. Making sure we're putting in the connection again. And then also making sure this is on highest priority. Did you guys just build something? Oh, you're on highest priority. Wait, why did you guys bring the material just now? Oh, building the stuff underneath, I guess. All right, all right, all right. So close. They always do that to me. You're in, you as well. You can be reached as well. It's actually doing pretty good. Detonate, because we already can. There we go. Let's make sure we're detonating the one underneath as well. Well, not detonating, placing it at least. One explosive done. Let me briefly pause our science production. With the observatory, it's going much, much faster, so that's overall doing okay. The explosives are coming in. And here we go. Just one more. Could have just placed, there we go. And first channel is in. So that is doing pretty good. Now we could have waited, because as we are letting the bad tide out, obviously we have less space here for the water pumper, but we can always reactivate those three. Regardless, we're on our way. And before I forget this over here, let's wrap this part up, placing it all down. Anyways, we're doing a pretty good job at getting things to where they need to be. Also makes me think, while we're at it, one more levee over here already, highest priority. And then if we can, I prioritize this. We also don't have that outflow right now or immediately. And because these are built on logs, that should be going on a lot faster. Anyways, I'm going to call this an episode, so thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.